Okay, let's see if it'll go this time. When I opened the hatch, the passage ahead was blacked out. But perhaps because of the nightlight blockage, it looked incredibly bright. You mean the emergency lights? Yes.
空がどうしたの？
What happened to Sora? Okay, this is weird. It's weird because on the Takeshi side, it seemed like you knew that Sora wouldn't be there if there was a blackout. Which is actually not that obvious in the remake because Sora is seems to be a different set of hardware as in the lights. Whereas in the original you could see it more happening because she was lights, she was a projection. But now on the kids side they're making you not know what happened to Sora. And of course, you know how this game ends. You know the answer to all the twists. You'd say, well, they're different people, right? These are two different yous. Yes, but you would expect that they would have the same knowledge. I mean, they both would have gone through, the Lemu employee orientation of some sort. And, you would think older you would try to make sure that younger you had the same knowledge to avoid discrepancies like this. Although she wouldn't be able to think of everything, right? Well, it's probably not voice. Let's see here. I think I can get that one. But as usual, I'm not prepared. Be prepared. So many things I have to set up before I do one of these. I forget things. Okay. Now we want to the kanji we're missing is to listen, right? So I'm going to say listen. I'm going to start in English and go to Japanese. And then grab that. That's kiku, or kikimasu, if you want to be formal. And punch that in. Along the way, I heard a voice say that. Okay. Which would be use. I guess you can't tell where the voice is coming from because it's dark, but it's obviously you.
Sora ga.
And Teshi's like, Sora? Oh, and he knows.
ちょっと待っててね。今ハッチ開けちゃうからね。
That makes it awkward. Wait a minute, I'll open the hatch right now. Which is also odd because in the Takeshi side, Takeshi opened all the hatches, but maybe Ryo forgot that. So what happened to Sora?
Yeah, Sora ga.
He wants to say it, doesn't he? Sora,
私がどうかしましたか?
What about me? Or what is wrong with me? For some reason, Takeshi looked surprised when he saw Sora. Why would he be? I mean, the lights are on here. You might go, okay, well, he's trying to act. Yeah, but then why would he say for some reason? Implies unexplained weird stuff, not like normal Takeshi stuff. I saw on the door the words Erdgeschoss Kontrollzimmer. which is German for something. It'll tell me in a moment. In Japanese. Looks like this is the control room.
やっと着いた。
We're finally here. Yay.
疲れた。
I'm tired.
皆さん、本当に大変お疲れ様でした。
Minna-san, I guess is like a formal everyone. Thank you very much for your hard work. You stood in front of the door, took out a card, and held it up to the panel next to the door. Yes, we know about that. Then the door opened. We entered the control room.
どう、ソラ。ここの端末からならわかりそう？
What do you think? Sora, do you think you can tell from the terminal here?
そうですね。確かに直接アクセスした方が早そうです。
That's right, it would certainly be faster to access it directly. It doesn't really make any sense because wouldn't the control room use the same network as Sora? Like, why can't it just like, why does she have to remotely connect to all of the like sensors individually? Why can't she just connect to the control room, and then it just connects the way it connects, which is better, you know? Anyway, we're gathered in front of the monitor. It's having trouble with this because it's like they don't understand it's a name. It doesn't understand Sora's a name. I don't know how to do. Anyway, you gather in front of the monitors, but then like Sora gets in front of a monitor too, and you know how that works. Like she sits down in the chair and starts typing, and they'll gather around her in front of the monitor. She'd be like, "What is going on here?" Yeah, it's so unclear how utterly confused Tsugumi is. I mean, she wouldn't actually be gaslighted, but she'd be like, "What are you all trying to do here?" One person didn't bother. There's only one person who's leaning against the wall, arms folded, quietly gazing at us. When should I run? Well, the only reason why she doesn't run, right, is because, well, her kids are there and she knows it, or is highly suspicious of it. Kind of holds her back. Sora turned to the monitor and held up both hands. Then, in the blink of an eye, many overlapping windows appear. The window opened and closed at an unbelievable speed.
おいおい、最近のコンピューターは手も触れずに操作できるのか？
Hey, can computers operate these days without even touching them? Okay, but does Takeshi say that out loud? I mean, he obviously did there because his voice actor had the quotes, but I forgot if he says that out loud or it's just a thought bubble in the Takeshi side. I felt the same way as Takeshi, but at the same time, it felt natural.
大体の現状が把握できました。
Your fingers are like through the keys. I have a general grasp of the current situation. She looks up from the monitor and stares at us with a serious
ま
expression.
ず、浸水事故の原因ですが、2つある搬入用エレベーターの1つに事故が発生し、 それが原因となり複合的に発生したものでした。
So what can be interesting about this is, in the original game, they actually specify how Lemu floods, right? In this remake, they don't. They just like, it's some maze of passages, and some of them are flooded and some of them are not, and it's chaos. They never actually show the map. In the original game, they show the map, but of course Lemu is much smaller. And it happens differently depending on if you're in the Takeshi side or in the kid side, because maybe you forgot exactly how it happened or couldn't replicate it exactly. Where the Takeshi side, when they first get to the control room, and Sora checks what's going on, they find that all of Erstaboden is flooded. But Vitae stock and Dritte stock are both completely not flooded. So they're pinned in, but they have two entire unflooded floors. Then later on in day one, because it's actually like time in the afternoon of day one in the original, where you meet all the characters and stuff, it floods more. And the characters all happen to be gathered in the souvenir shop when it happens, which happens to be one of the places it doesn't flood when it floods a second time by just like random chance. And then they find out, and then it's like more than half of Vitae stock and Dritte stock are now flooded as well. They're left with about a third, or 1/9 of Lemu actually remaining to hang out in for a week. And then eventually, it's probably day 5, day 3, morning of day 3, on just the Takeshi side, the warehouse floods. And then on both sides on day 5, or I forgot what day, but it's probably somewhere around day 5, the Cosmic Whale Room floods as well. But there's just 2 stages, right? Whereas in the kid side, it all happens all at once. The very first flooding floods all the way to just about to less than half of Dritte stock and Vitae stock when flooded. So it's just one event. I wonder if they're going to somehow mess with that here. But because they don't actually specify this, how Lemu is flooding, they don't really have the ability to change what the specification is because the specification doesn't exist. So I don't know if they'll variate it or not. First of all, regarding the cause of the flooding, an accident occurred in one of the 2 transport elevators. And that had caused the incident to occur in a complex way. Okay, so it's still a transport elevator. A loading elevator. Or like cargo elevator, whatever you want to call it. Oh, Yossiar decided to die again. Oh, okay, never mind. I wonder if it's different from the elevator Sora was riding. The answer is yes, it absolutely is.
搬入用ってことは、俺たちが使ってたエレベーターとは違うものか？
For some reason, Tsugumi perks up at this, which is odd. Maybe she thinks I can get to IBF faster this time. But why would Tsugumi even think that IBF still existed? And interesting. Maybe she thinks it would, but would they repopulate it? If it's for transport, this is Takeshi's talking, does that mean it's different from the elevators we used? Well, yes. It's a good question, actually.
主に物資の輸送に利用するエレベーターです。
It's too close to call, too early to call on this, but in the original game, like, Takeshi kind of sounded like a normal dude when you play as him on the Takeshi side. On the kid side, he was kind of a jerk, right? Which may be sort of the kid's kind of inaccurate, slightly manipulated old memory from 17 years ago, or Ryogo, right, of how Takeshi acted. So he looks kind of different, right? But we're not actually seeing like a particular like jerkiness to Takeshi right now. He seems to be kind of mirroring what Takeshi did in 2017, where Takeshi did as you play as Takeshi very well. So maybe they kind of fixed that. Which, I don't know if they really needed to fix that, because it kind of made sense with the plot. But it's too close. It's like too early. Like we haven't even got to the end of the day one yet. So, because right, like that question sounds really like reasonable, and like at the not like an idiotic question at the moment, right? Yes, that's right. It's an elevator mainly used to transport goods.
ふーん。どこに荷物を運ぶエレベーターなのかしらね。
Well, that was a really relatively sharp voice for Tsugumi, I expect. Because, like, she's supposed to be like, she's usually like breathier. Huh. I wonder where that elevator is carrying all that luggage. It's like
それ
sarcasm.
は。
Well,
それは
well, what?
すみません。これ以上の情報は私の権限では開示できません。
I'm sorry, I can't disclose any more information than I have authority to.
そう。まあいいわ。続けて。
Well, whatever, keep going.
はい。海中にあるこの施設は飽和潜水仕様のため、地上とは6気圧ほど気圧差があります。
This facility, which is underwater, has saturated diving specifications, so there are 6 atmospheres of air pressure difference from the surface, which should be 6 total, which is different than the surface, right? If I do my math correctly back in the old days. Air pressure here is about 6 atmospheres from the surface. Okay, then it would be 7 atmospheres. I think that's kind of, I don't think that's right though.
この施設に機材を運搬する搬入用エレベーター内も地上とは 12.5 気圧差があります。
There are 12.5 atmospheres of pressure in the elevator that transport materials to this facility. Yeah, just for some random reason. I don't really get it, but it seems that the elevator has caused the accident. The elevator that caused the accident had higher air pressure than a normal elevator. Just so that, like, we could dramatically shoot all the luggage out of it when it arrives. But I wonder why she's so shy.
本来、施設の出入りには二重扉内の再圧タンクで気圧を調整してから出入りするのですが。
Or, like, not talking why, you know. Normally, when entering or exiting the facility, you adjust the air pressure with a repressurization tank in the double doors before. Okay.
人為的ミスにより気圧を調整しないまま搬入用エレベーターの扉が開いてしまったのです。
Someone just popped out of the cargo elevator onto the surface in Belfort Delphine, or however you pronounce that themselves. Because of an artificial error, the door to the transport elevator opened without adjusting the air pressure, and probably killed some people.
誰かが気圧差を調整しないでエレベーターを使ったってことかしら。
Someone used the elevator without adjusting the air pressure. I guess that means they died. Sara looked at you and nodded, because Sara knows science somehow.
気圧差が大きかったために扉から急激に内部の空気が流出し、煙突化現象のように下部の気圧が一気に下がった影響で設計限界を超えた水圧がかかった搬入用エレベーターの下部は圧壊しました。
I meant Sora. I read that wrong egregiously. Sara's not even been in this conversation. Apparently she's in the room, though. The difference in air pressure was so great that the air inside suddenly leaked out through the door, right? And the pressure at the bottom dropped all at once, yep, like a chimney phenomenon. The bottom of the transport elevator, which had water pressure that exceeded the design limit, was crushed. Okay. I don't really get it, but it looks like the air pressure elevator exploded. Wrong, it imploded.
そして空気流出の負荷がかかったツバイトシュトックの第一ブロックにある空気循環系の施設に火災が起こり、圧縮酸素タンクが爆発。
Then, in the first block of Vitae stock, so Vitae stock block 1, which under the strain of the airflow, the whoosh, there was a fire in the air circulation system, and the compressed oxygen tank exploded.
それにより発生したバブルジェットにより、第一ブロック周辺の施設も破壊され、浸水につながったようです。
Because of that, the facilities around the first block were destroyed by the bubble jet leading to flooding.
バブルジェットって？
What's a bubble jet?
水中で爆発が起こると、爆豪ガス球と呼ばれる空洞が発生し、短時間に膨張、収縮するんです。
The explosion of water creates a cavity called an explosive gas ball, which expands and then contracts again in a short time.
収縮した時、一定の狭い領域に圧力が集中するバブルジェット現象が起こります。この現象により、局部的に強大な破壊力が生まれるわけです。
When it contracts, the bubble jet phenomenon occurs where pressure concentrates at a certain narrow area. This phenomenon creates a locally destructive, powerfully destructive station, force, event, thing. No, I meant to hit Control V and hit Windows V. When it contracts, pressure is concentrated in a small area, creating a bubble jet phenomenon. This phenomenon creates a powerful, localized, destructive force.
なるほど。なんとなくは分かった。
I see. Somehow I get it. The conversation was so advanced they couldn't tell, but I managed to sort it out in my head, sort of. Oops. Can I ask you a question?
ええ、何でしょうか。
What is it? In other words, if you make a hole in the huge oxygen tank in the ocean, the air will come out. So if you drill a hole in a giant oxygen bomb or tank in the ocean, air will bubble out. Yeah, but apparently it exploded. Like it didn't just bubble out, it just went pang. That atmosphere. The air was too powerful to damage Lemu's body. Is that what happened? No, but whatever.
厳密には違いますが、概略としてはそのように捉えてもらって構いません。
Strictly speaking, it's different, but for the most part, you can take it that way. It's the water that actually did it, not the air. But I see. Looks like I kinda understood.
搬入用エレベーターの事故と空気循環系の施設の事故には時間差がありましたので、他のお客様およびスタッフは脱出できたのですが、
There was a time lag between the accident in the transport elevator and the accident in the air circulation facility, so the other customers and staff were able to escape.
搬入用エレベーター接合部付近のブロックは圧壊の衝撃で復旧不能な歪みが生じたために 緊急閉鎖されてしまいました。
But you were trapped in elevators, or in the infirmary trying to look after an unconscious kid, or trapped in some random corridor for some reason we don't know why. Like, we don't know why Takeshi, like the Takeshi side, Takeshi and Tsugumi got trapped. I mean, just the instant happened, they immediately got trapped randomly. The pump block near the loading elevator junction was emergency closed because of the... Okay. Excuse me. Pump block? No, because they accidentally met the block. The block near the elevator junction was emergency closed because of the unrecoverable distortion caused by the impact of the crushing.
それで私は閉じ込められ、脱出もできず、虜の身ってわけ？冗談でしょ？
Okay, what's this gonna be? Is that why I'm trapped, unable to escape, and I am a prisoner? Are you kidding me? Interesting. Wonder how well written this is. Like, it's kind of, it's for that reason? Sora was about to say something. But came to the conclusion that the girl should take over. Huh? Like what? The girl took over Sora's hesitant words and concluded.
それじゃ当然、脱出ポットは一台も残ってないんでしょ？
So, of course, there's not a single escape pod left, right?
あ、そうでしたね。現状で可能な限りの検索をしましたが、使える脱出ポットは0台とのことでした。
Ah, that's right. I searched as much as I could under the current circumstances, but the escape pods we could use were 0. Tsugumi goes, oh, and let me guess, there's the cosmic whale, right?
つまり、上に行く道は完全に閉ざされちゃったの？
In other words, the way up is completely closed.
はい。非常階段も加減圧および搬入用エレベーターも現在すべて使用不可能ですから。
Yes, both the emergency stairs and the decompression and transport elevators are currently unusable.
ちょっと待て。それってどういうことだ？
Hold on, what do you mean by that? Takeshi glanced at the girl as he said that. The girl? Yeah, it's like you jumped the gun. You wouldn't have known that those were not used. Sora just explained how the accident happened. She didn't say that there was no way out. I guess that's what Takeshi's trying to get at here. The girl has a sharp glint in her eyes. She looks menacing. For some reason, I thought I saw an aura of hatred, like emotion, from the girl right back. For some reason, I felt like I could see an aura of hatred emanating from the girl's back. Okay, so there's some reason there's back in here. Wonder what happened between these two. It's not just those two. That's the question that came to mind. It also probably has something to do with you, as in you. And YOUU as well. But seeing the girl like that, Takeshi raised his hands. Then he looks away from the girl.
他に手段はないのか？
Is there no other way?
空、上とは連絡取れないの？
Odd that he would respond, what do you mean by that, to Tsugumi, because he would want to continue that line of thought, would he? Interesting. Sora, can't you contact the higher-ups?
災害が発生した時点で海上へ救難信号が自動発信されたのは確認しました。ですが
The moment the disaster occurred, we confirmed that the distress signal was automatically transmitted to the sea. However,
サーチした限りでは
to the surface.
海上インゼルヌルとの通信手段は非常回線も含め事故の損傷により使用不能でした。
As far as the search goes, the means of communication with the surface with Incel Knoll, including the emergency line, were unusable due to the damage from the accident.
海底光ケーブルへの無線経由でのネットワーク接続から原始的な音波による水中通話まであらゆる通信手段を試していますが深度が深すぎて届かないようです。
We've tried all means of communication, from network connections via radio to underwater light capes, to underwater calls using primitive sound waves, but it's too deep and it doesn't seem to reach. Tried every method of communication, from connecting to a network via wireless undersea optical cable. Wait. Wireless undersea optical cable. Wireless cable. Well, I guess an optical cable is not a wire because it's not conductive. But that's not how he would say it. That's not very colloquially sensible. We don't usually call optical cables wireless, even though they are technically not wires. Because the definition of a wire is, well, in a mathematically abstract sense, a material, something is perfectly conducting. In a more practical sense, a conductor. Anyway. Continuing on. To primitive underwater sound waves, but it seems the depths are too great and we can't reach them. It might be that it should be optical, cable, wireless, and sound.
復旧のめどはまだ立っていません。
We don't have a plan for restoration yet.
交信不能。海の中のレミュー。我々は巨大なピンチに包囲されたというわけね。
We can't communicate. We've been surrounded by a huge crisis in the ocean, I guess. Like,
そんな。
I'm gonna say no one can hear our SOS. I don't know. She didn't say that. She didn't say it line exactly. No way.
そうは言ってもこんな大事故が起きたのよ。レスキュー隊や事故調査の人たちは来るんじゃないかしらね。少なくとも施設時代をほったらかしにするってことはないんじゃない？
You say that, but an accident like this happened, you know. I'm sure the rescue team and people investigating the accident will come. At the very least, they won't leave the facility left unattended. Oh, they will in this case for reasons you really don't understand.
じゃあここで待っていればきっと誰かが来てくれて私たちを助けてくれるってことね。
It'll shock you worse the 27th than the one on the Takeshi side would shock you. So if we wait here, someone will surely come and help us. Oh, this would be fun
たと
watching
え
from the
誰かが
outside.
来たとしてもそれは助けに来たとは限らないけどね。
You know, yeah, we will eventually, I think. Even if someone did come, that doesn't necessarily mean they came to save you. Now that's different. Not sure they would come to save me. What does that mean?
救助を待つとして、この施設で何日間生きられるのかな。
Unfortunately, they don't let you play as the kid first in this. That'd be funny if you never played the original, you just played this, you played this first. Like, what? Let's see. Because it when you play as the kid, right, Tsugumi, at least in the original, I don't know about how it's going to come across here. This hasn't happened yet, but in the original game, Tsugumi comes across as, like, a terrible person. Like, she's a complete jerk. But you don't really go, oh no, every time she appears on the screen. Because although she's very mean, she's also very mysterious, and you really want the information out of her that seems like she has, right? So it kind of balances each other out. You go, oh, Tsugumi, right? You may not necessarily get that as much if you play as Takeshi first, because she's not as mysterious. You just sort of hate Tsugumi. Let's see, how many days will we be able to live in this facility if we wait for someone to save us?
この施設はもともと近未来における閉鎖環境循環型のシミュレーションモデルとして作られていますので。
This facility was originally built as a closed circulation model for the near future.
正常であれば人間が生活を営むのに必要な資源が枯渇することはありません。定期的なメンテナンスのみで理論上は数百年以上暮らせるのですが。
Well, we're already in the future, Sora, and they still haven't done it. Oh well. If it's normal, humans won't run out of resources they need to live their lives. It's just regular maintenance, and theoretically they can live for more than a few hundred years. Wait, so they already did it. Okay, never mind.
先ほど申し上げたように空気循環系の施設が爆発したために酸素の供給が止まっています。
Except the system might be damaged. So this is like Biosphere 3, but the system might be damaged. As I said earlier, the air circulation facility exploded. So the supply of oxygen has been stopped. So that's useless. Okay. Takeshi couldn't help but catch his breath, and for some reason I felt suffocating too.
酸素の供給が止まっていると言いましても、施設内の総酸素量と JA 数から計算して、まだしばらくは生命活動に問題はありません。
Even if the oxygen supply is stopped, based on the total oxygen content and the number of people in the facility, which you're underestimating by 2, sometimes, but whatever, there will still be no problems with life activity for a while, quote unquote.
救護室なら安全よ。酸素フィルターも備わっているし、医療用だけど酸素もあるからね。
It's safe in the infirmary. It's equipped with an oxygen filter, which, what does that do? It's medical, but it's also oxygen. Whatever that means. I mean, you can't make oxygen where there's no oxygen without splitting up the carbon dioxide, and that takes a lot of energy. A lot of energy. Plants can do it, though. Do some photosynthesis. What do you mean by plants do it? Well, they do the carbon fixation, right? They turn the carbon dioxide into hydrocarbons. Then they do cellular respiration. They burn the hydrocarbons. Well, you don't even have to do that, right? Somewhere in the Kelvin cycle, it figures out a way to split the carbon dioxide and actually make oxygen. If I don't get my Krebs cycle and my Calvin cycles mixed up. That was when I heard a sound like something creaking in the distance, and I felt like the floor shook.
それでタイムリミットまで何時間？
I'm just gonna ask the time until implosion, except it's not implosion this time, it's collapsing. Because they changed it. How many hours until the time limit? Why would you even bother? You know that the time limit changes later, Tsugumi. With that, she turned to the side with an annoyed expression.
あくまでもコンピューターによる計算ですので、多少の誤差はありますが。
He's like, I'm just kind of half buttocks following the script with this question. It's just a computer calculation, so there is a slight margin of error.
170時間17分です。
170 hours and 17 minutes, just like on the Takeshi side. Again, it's a useless number because it gets
170
corrected.
時間17分後にどうなるって言うんだ？
What's going to happen in 170 hours and 17 minutes? You will die. A three-dimensional map of the facility appears on the monitor, which gives no information about what's flooded and what does not.
海の中のレミューは海に浮かんだ施設です。
The Lamu in the sea, or underwater, right, is a facility that floats in the sea. Not really, it's held up by... is suspended in the sea, might be a better translation. Lamu, this is where we are right now. Yes, because I have to remember this guy has amnesia. That's what I learned again. Strangely, I wasn't surprised. But why am I here? What happened to lead up till now? But why did I come to a place like this?
3階層の施設、エルストボーデン、ツバイトシュトック、ドリットシュトックは各々浮力を持ち浮かんだ状態になっていましたが、
Well, you might have been kidnapped. You may not have been on your own accord. That being said, I know from the original game, if it carries over, that yes, you did come here, like, on your own volition. With lots of motivation, though. The facilities on the third floor, Ersteboden... Oh, the three floors, not third floor. The three floors, Ersteboden, Zweite Stock, and Dritte Stock, all had buoyancy and were floating. Okay. I guess that actually did make sense.
現状、この施設はインゼルヌルにぶら下がってかろうじて崩壊を免れているような状態です。
Right now, this facility is hanging from Inselnol, barely avoiding collapse. Well, don't you have like stuff going all the way to the bottom of
170 時
the
間
ocean too?
17分後には重圧に耐えきれなくなったメインシャフトが崩壊し、連鎖的に全ての内部の施設も崩壊することになります。
In 170 hours and 17 minutes from now, the main shaft, unable to withstand the pressure, will collapse, and all the internal facilities will collapse in a chain reaction. Well, they'll sink into the sea and then they'll get floated. What does that mean?
助けを待つにしても170時間17分がタイムリミットなわけね。
Even if we wait for help, in 170 hours and 17 minutes, 170 hours and 17 minutes is the time limit. The truth is thrust at me indifferently. There's no way I can get depressed like this. Sora is silent. Takeshi and you saw it at almost the same time. Sora and I both gave a disappointed nod. Just right in the middle. Like, which friend are we going to swap out? Sora's. Only the girl was glaring at us.
だけどまあ落ち込んでてもしょうがないじゃない。
Well, there's no point in getting depressed.
ここはポジティブに前向きにそう前向きに考えようよねえ諸君。
Alright, let's think positively. Positively. That's right, That's the right way. Yeah, the gentleman is actually in there. Gentlemen. You broke the silence and spoke energetically.
もうそんな沈み込んだ顔しないでよ。
Don't look so depressed.
私たちに残された時間って170時間17分しかないんじゃなくて
We only have 170 hours and 17 minutes left. No, there's no Coco in this. That's just a coincidence.
170時間17分もあるんじゃない。
You have 170 hours and 17 minutes. That's more than zero.
私たちはさ、何も太平洋のど真ん中を漂流してるわけでも、冬の雪山で遭難したわけでもないんだから。
Actually, I have less than that, but whatever. Maybe not, because Tsugumi doesn't get hurt on this side, so maybe that doesn't decrease. That's interesting. We didn't pick the middle of the Pacific Ocean to get stranded on a snowy mountain in winter. Is that a cheat? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We're not drifting in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. We're stranded on a snowy mountain in winter. I wonder if there's a game somewhere where you're actually just drifting in the Pacific Ocean. I don't know what it would be, though. The kid said, what are you trying to say?
要するに、私たちはいずれ、多分数時間と待たないうちに助けられるでしょってこと。
Like, you're not in an insane asylum. The point is, they'll probably be able to save you eventually in a matter of hours.
なんでわかるんですか？
How do you know?
だってよーく考えてみ。
But think about it carefully.
私たちは何の因果か知らないけれど、こんな狭苦しい建物の中に閉じ込められてしまった。
I don't know what the cause or effect is, but we're trapped in this cramped building.
おまけに外部へ連絡する手段もないときてる。
On top of that, there's no way to contact the outside world.
でもね、考えたら連絡する必要なんてなかったのよ。
But you know, when I thought about it, we think about it, we don't need to contact
連
them.
絡だったら私たちがするまでもなく他の誰かがしてくれてるはずじゃない。
If it's a call, there's no need for us to do it. Someone else should be doing it. Who would they
誰
be?
かって？
Someone?
そっか。
Oh, I see.
先輩のバイト仲間、それから私の学校の友達や先生。
Senpai's coworkers and friends from her school and the teachers. Hearing that, you gave a big nod as if to say, exactly.
あんただって一人で来たわけじゃないんでしょ？
We didn't come here alone, did you? Or you didn't come here alone, did you? Which would have been true for the Takeshi's side. No, he didn't. He had friends, oddly. They go, where is he? But I presume they just think because he wouldn't show up to university or classes or whatever the next day. They just thought he got lost coming back, but then suddenly it would start to get weird when he just never came back. You turn the conversation to Takeshi.
そうか。確かに、それもそうだよな。
And then he has to Takeshi. Ah, I see. That's true. That's true.
俺らがここにいるってことは、浮島にいる連中もとっくに気づいてるはずだよな。
Remember Suzuki and whatever his other name was? If the event is here, then the people on the floating island must have noticed it by now.
そうだからレスキュー隊だか自己調査だか知らないけど、とにかく誰かがすぐに助けに来てくれると思うわけ。
Yes, I don't know if it's a rescue team or an accident investigation, but anyway, I think someone will come to rescue us right away.
どう？納得した？
Well, are you satisfied? It's gonna be like, I bite my tongue. Sora and I nodded. Takeshi and Sora nodded their heads in the same way. At some point, it seems everyone's faces have regained their cheerfulness. And for potentially like thumbnail reasons, I'm going to create a set of frames where there's nothing but sprites. Okay. I might actually like put a number on top of the screenshot this time. Okay. Only one girl was still staring at me, in particular, coldly.
これは
What's this? Takeshi suddenly raised his voice. When I looked, there was a flyer in his hand.
コスミッシャーバルってのに乗れば施設の外に出られるのか？
Cosmishir Val. Can we use it to get outside the facility?
はい。コスミッシャーバルは飽和潜水仕様の船ですから。あ、
Yes, Kazumishir Val it's Wal, right? Like Wagner. Kazumishir Wal is a saturated submersible after all.
なるほど、その手があったわね。そら、ドリッドストックの施設ってモニターできる？
Oh, I see. That's an option. Sora, can you monitor Dorite stocks facilities?
少々お待ちください。
Please wait a moment. Flustered, Sora raised both hands to the monitor. An image of some facility appeared on the screen.
これはモニターカメラによるリアルタイムの映像です。コスミッシャーバルはこの通り健在しています。
This is a real-time video feed from the monitor camera. As you can see, the cosmic whale is still alive and well. That means, wait, what is it? It's written by, like, you can see my cursor. It's written with a W instead of a V in the background. Oh, it is a V. Yeah, it's Cosmishir Val, not Wall. Okay, I got it right the
は
first
い。
time.
皆様は脱出可能ということですね。
Like Wagner. So you're saying we can escape?
おお
Oh, yes, you can use it to escape. Ah.
やり
That's Sora, right? Yay. Everyone is wearing... Everyone has the same look on their face. Including Tsugumi.
他力じゃなくて自力の手段もまだあったってわけね。
You still has the means... Oh. You mean, is it possible to pilot it on your own or something? So instead of relying on other means, we still have the means to do it ourselves. Okay, I'm talking about escaping. We can escape ourselves. That's just the kid being the kid. The kid said, come on, translator. Whales?
クジラ型の遊覧潜水艇のことよ。
We're talking about the well-shaped cruise submarine. I wonder why something like that exists.
そりゃここって夢と希望のテーマパークレミューでしょ。だからアトラクションの遊戯施設は充実しているのよ。
Well, this is a theme park of dreams and hope, Lemieux, isn't it? That is why it's full of attractions and play facilities. That's right, this is Lemieux, the theme park of dreams and hope.
そら、コスミッシャーバルまでの順路に問題ない？
Sora, are there any problems with the route to Cosmic Whale?
はい、今出します。
Yes, I'll give it to you now.
封鎖ブロックや浸水箇所を避けながら進まなければなりませんので、一箇所途中の階段の排水が必要ですが、排水ポンプは稼働しています。
We must proceed while avoiding blockaded locks and flooding points. We need to drain one of the stairs along the way, but the drainage pump is still active. For now.
時間はかかると思いますが、いけそうですね。
I think it'll take some time, but it looks like we'll be able to go.
やはりエレベーターは使えないのね。
So we can't use the elevators after all.
はい、アイエレベーターは使用可能ですが、コスミッシャーバルトの通路は完全に遮断されています。
Yes, because the EI elevator goes to a place isolated from Cosmic Shear Ball, which is a complete and utter backwards departure from the original game, of course, yes. Yes, the EI elevator is usable, but the passage to the Cosmic Whale is completely blocked from where it goes.
ちょっと歩くのが大変そうだけど、ただじっと待ってるよりはマシよね。
Sounds like it'll be a bit of a struggle to walk, but it's better than just sitting around and waiting.
それでソラ、排水作業はいつ頃終わりそう？
So Sora, when do you think you'll be able to finish your drainage
す
work?
でにポンプを作動させていますが、排水量が多いので、明日の9時ぐらいまではかかります。
I've already activated the pump, but there's a lot to drain, so it'll take until about 9 o'clock tomorrow.
となると、明日までここで足止めか。他に今できることは。
Which means we'll be stuck here until tomorrow, huh? Is there anything else we can do right now?
あ、そうだ。ソラ、前巻の生体反応のサーチやってみて。
Oh, that's right. Sora, try searching the entire building for signs of life.
私たち以外にも、まだ誰か残されているかもしれないもんね。
There might be someone else left besides us. Okay, that was line supposedly said by you, but like it sounded kind of Sora-ish.
はい、出しますね。
The voice acting is a little Sora-ish there. Ah, yes, I'll let it out. I mean, that kanji does mean exit. It's just that that's not probably what she means. Yes, I'll bring up the results probably. I will present it. The map monitor. Okay, the map and sensor results appear on the monitor. It's fine. 6 points of light flash in a section on the first floor. Okay, it's gonna get weird. So we have the kid and Sara, we have Takeshi and Tsugumi, and we have you. Right? That's 5. Now you might go, okay, what's the 6th one? Well, Pee-Pee was there when Coco was there, right? But you haven't been told this in the remake yet, but I know from the original game, spoilers, Pee-Pee's a robot. Which means that he would only trigger the sensor if he gave off enough heat, probably, to do so, which is theoretically possible, but if the life form meter were sort of sci-fi correct, it wouldn't detect Pee-Pee as a life form. Then we do know about Chami. We don't know if Tsugumi has Chami with her in this side of the game. In fact, you would presume, based on the information we have now from how much I've played of the remake, we presume that Chami would be, well, I would say Chami would be dead by now, but the thing is, you don't know about the time skip yet. So we do know about Chami. Although Chami tends to be tucked into Tsugumi's clothes, and so even though her new outfit doesn't really have a place to put a hamster, unlike her old one. So you would think the sensor would kind of combine his reading with Tsugumi, because it would be able to distinguish them. If the sensor was really good, I guess it could detect Chami, and that's going to make 6. Or I said sometimes the sensor might detect the location of Sora as part of, like, Sora's human emulation, or just kind of like as a thing. Like, it just does that because that's how it's programmed, even though Sora is not a life form. Anyway, they make 6. So we have the girl, which is Tsugumi, we don't know what her name is yet, right? Then you, then Sora, because he doesn't know Sora is not a life form. So Sora, Sara, Takeshi Day, is that just Mutsu? No life forms. 6 life forms. I don't have to translate that. Yeah, I guess you just use a generic counter, Mutsu, instead of the people counter, because you're saying life forms, not people. Although it's kind of confusing. And I forgot what the people counter is for 6. So Suitachi, I believe, is actually the day counter. So, oh, Hitori. Hitori is one person, right? No, Hitori. Oh my goodness. That's together. That's 2 people. Futsuka might be one person. And then it's Hitori. I don't know. I forget my people counters. Yeah, Suitachi is the first day of the month, right? It's 1 day counter. And then probably Hutsuka is 1 person. Well, that might be 1 thing. 2 things is Futatsu, right? And then 3 things is Mitsu. 4 things is Yotsu. 5 things is Itsutsu. 6 things is Mutsu. So you got the things from 2 to 6. I forgot what the 1 thing is. Problem with Japanese is because there's just different counters, and so you have to memorize the numbers over and over again. There's just multiple different kinds of numbers. Whereas something like English only has numbers and ordinal numbers. And that's it. Given our numbers are funky, we have stuff like 11 and 12 and nonsense, but at least there's only 1 set, and then ordinals. Korean is annoying because it has 2 sets. You get the Korean ones and the Chinese ones. But Japanese, you have these counters, and they're just... You have to memorize numbers multiple times over. Especially the ones for days, people, and things, right? The ones for like sheets of something or sticks of something, those are easier because they're just like the number followed by like pun or something like that. But the people, the days, and the generic things are hard. I looked around one by one, looked around at the life forms, right? Huh? Where is Sora? When I look at Sora, something caught my eye. Oh, was he finding out right away? I was thinking about that. I was looking at the monitor. Far below the 6 points of light, I spot a faint flash of light. Ah,
どうしたの？
what's wrong? There's something strange about that. I see. Wait, is that a 7th point? I point to the spot under the monitor where 2 lights were flashing faintly. Under the monitor? Well, I mean, it does say under. I mean, that is the down kanji there. The below kanji. It's a shita, right? That's how it's pronounced. It was far below the facility in the ocean. Right, so like in between IBF and the facility. So you still see those 2 people. Interesting. Still haven't figured out what those people are. I looked at the sensor results from the map display. Now this shows 8. Oh. Life readings 8. Life reading 7. Life reading 6. Life readings 8. Life readings 7. Life readings 6.
確かに変ですね。故障でしょうか。
I mean, they don't really even explain this in the original game, and here they're making it more concrete. They're saying that where the extra points are, right? They're down in the ocean underneath Lamu. But it doesn't necessarily seem like it should be programmed to count IBF, wouldn't it? So it'd be like in between, you'd think. So perhaps you would say, okay, well, maybe it's, in the Takeshi side, it would have been Yoiki on the elevator, maybe. Like, he's on, like, the elevator going from IBF to Lamu. And actually, he's the one being countered. But Yoiki doesn't appear on this side, right? It doesn't appear on the kid's side. You go, okay, maybe it's 2 miscellaneous scientists that are not Yoiki, that are also kind of were in IBF and may or may not be infected by Deep Blue, escaping IBF by going up the elevator. And once they get up the elevator into Lamu, they then escape using the Cosmic Whale. Interesting. But I don't know what plot relevance they would have. Maybe one's Coco's dad. We never figured out what happens to Coco's dad in any of these games. Right, it's strange. Is it malfunctioning? Sora fiddled with the console, but the display of the monitor was still unstable. The numbers changed every few seconds.
なぜこんなことが。
Why is this happening? Yeah, the original game just left us ambiguous and made you think, maybe they're counting Blinkwinkle or something. Sora seemed uncharacteristically distraught as she hurriedly began operating the console. But the unstable numbers don't seem to stop at all. The bioscan continues to blur.
もしもこの表示が本当は8だとしたら。
If this display is actually 8, maybe... I wonder if there's someone else besides us. In addition to us, I guess, there are two other people who haven't escaped yet.
そう8が正解だとしたらね。
That's right. If 8 is the correct answer, and this Takeshi guy here would know, right? Because he knows that at some point someone escapes in the cosmic whale and takes it out from under them, which is interesting. Hey, but he has to follow the script, doesn't he? Hey, shouldn't we look for those people? That's right, they might be in trouble. We might have to hurry to save them.
と言っても海の中よ。
But we're in the ocean.
まあ待てよみんな落ち着けって。
But they are in the ocean. Wait, everyone calm down. For a while we focused on the moving numbers.
センサーの誤動作なのでしょうか。
Is the sensors
そう
malfunctioning?
ね。もし他に残された人がいたらコスミッシャーバルに行く途中で助けようと思ったんだけど海の中だしね。
Yeah, if anyone else was left behind, I'd save them on the way to Cosmic Sheer Vault, but they're in the ocean, right?
まさか幽霊だったりして。
It could be ghosts. I thought this you was not into ghosts. Takeshi had a very scary look on his face as he stared at the flashing points of light at the bottom of the sea.
何怖い顔してモニターを見つめてんのよ。もしかして幽霊とかダメな人？
Why do you have a scary face? Why are you staring at the monitor with such a scary face? Could it be that you're a bad... that ghosts think you're a bad person? Or something? Maybe you're not good with ghosts?
え？あいや違うぞ。多分疲れが顔に出ただけだ。
Oh, no, that's not it. I'm probably just tired, that's all.
ま、私もダメっていうよりオカルトなんか大嫌いな方だけどね。疲れか。まあいいや。
Maybe he didn't expect to see that again, right? He's like, wait, why are there two people left over again? Well, I hate to... Like, the occult moors in the fact that I can't do it either. Tired, well, whatever. Oh, she does say she hates the occult. Okay. Well, I don't mean to say I don't like it. I actually hate the occult. But... I guess I'm just tired. Oh, okay.
確かに疲れちゃったよね。いろいろあったし。
By the occult, they just mean interest in, like, otherworldly things in Japanese, I believe. Yeah, cult just means like other. Well, I hate the occult more than the fact that well, I'm tired. A lot of things happened.
そうだ、みんなも疲れたでしょ。脱出のめども立ったし、一旦休息にしましょうか。
That's right, everyone must be tired. We have a plan to escape, so let's take a break.
はーい。
Okay. Now, in this site, we don't have Coco's, like, super card or whatever she had that allowed her to get unlimited drinks at the vending machine. We'll see what happens. Sarah, who didn't show the slightest sign of exhaustion, replied, "We moved to the employee-only rest room or break room in the same block. Perhaps it was the damage from the accident, but the chairs had fallen here and there. Looked like there was a distortion in the wall, too, but the door opened and closed normally. There were vending machines for various drinks in the room. Feeling tired, I woke up I picked up a fallen chair and sat down. Whoops. Did I skip a line? I don't know where it was stored, but I let out a deep sigh. Okay, let's look at the backlog. And just do the immediate previous line. Okay. Oh, the line I skipped was the kid going, phew. So it's just a sigh, okay.
Lemieux card?
Lemieux card?
入場券兼用のカードですが、チャージしませんでした？
It's a card that doubles as an entrance ticket. But, it's a card that also serves as an admission ticket. Well, charge. It's like charge, right? Seems like the right word. You didn't charge it. I presume it's like an English thing. You didn't pay for it or something. Or you didn't like put money into it. Like it's like a prepaid. I could hear Takeshi and Sora talking as they stood in front of the vending machine.
そういえばそんなものをチャージしたっけな。
Come to think of it, didn't I charge something like that?
そうだな。少年と少女、みんなの分の飲み物を運ぶから手伝ってくれないか？
Yeah, boys and girls, can you help me carry the drinks for everyone? Takeshi turned to Sora and me. Me?
私？
Me? Sora and I stood up from our seats and headed for Takeshi.
じゃあ、私のレミュカード使ってください。
Well then, please let me use my Lemieux card. So he's gonna kind of step in for Coco, but... Lemieux card? Would she put money in her? What's a Lemieux card?
あ、レミュー内でのお支払いはすべてレミューカード対応になっているんです。
I mean, you probably have one in your pocket. You just forgot about it because you got in here somehow. All the payments within Lemieux are based on Lemieux cards. Sarah rummaged through the backpack she was holding, took a black card out of her pink wallet, and handed it to Takeshi. Sarah rummaged through her student wallet, took out a black card from her, some sort of like student bag. And then she had a pink wallet with a black card.
なんだ
Okay.
そのカードは。
What's with that card?
すごいですね。ブラックパスです。
Oh, that's the black pass as opposed to the rainbow pass. It's amazing. It's a black pass.
ブラックパス
Black pass?
はい。すべての施設に乗り放題、食べ放題の年間パスで VIP カードですよ。
It's an all-you-can-eat yearly pass to all facilities, and it's a VIP card. Yes, it's a VIP card, and an annual pass that allows unlimited use of all the facilities and unlimited eating. So it does the same thing as the rainbow card, it's just a different color. Someone is special. Amazing. Could Sarah be a repeat customer here? No, she was given that.
ポチッとなポチッとなポチッとポチッとポチッとな
I'm, not going to translate that. Ew. Takeshi borrowed the car from Sarah, sang a strange song, and pressed the vending machine buttons haphazardly. So, he was not very mature. Well, I just passed the judgment on him. There are like 70-year-old men who would do things like that. Without a sound, canned juice and other things fall down. With the sound. Sarah and I hurriedly pulled cans, bottles, and plastic bottles out of the overflowing drawer. So what color is like the normal Amu cards? Blue? I presume they're blue. There is juice on the table, carbonated drinks, deep ocean water. Again, I would think that would just be like salt water, but apparently it's not. Milk bottles. They're apparently not coffee. It's lined with all sorts of drinks that the three of us carried.
みんなで飲もうぜ
So I'll drink together.
サンキューいただくわ。
Thank you, I'll take it. Itadakimasu is what you say before you eat. So itadaki wa is something similar. I picked up a bottle of fruit milk. So like coconut milk? I guess. I mean, if it's fruit flavored milk, ew. That just doesn't come out right. Well, at least strawberry milk. No, that does not come out right. Okay, this is like goku. Pua. But what's the rest of it? Is something beyond all the glugs? No. I come back to life is the last bit. For a while, everyone was relaxing as they pleased while drinking their drinks. The girl left us, didn't even touch her drink, and sat there cautiously.
俺は倉成。
Orewa, I guess he's like being harsh. Kuranari, which is his last name. That was when Takeshi suddenly said his name.
倉成武史、20歳。大学3年生だ。みんな、よろしくな。
I don't know how he would know he's Takeshi, but whatever. Oh, yeah, because they met, I don't know. Kuranari Takeshi, 20 years old and a third year in college. Nice to meet you all. Even though he's actually like 30 years old, but whatever. Like this guy.
俺は倉成武史っていきなり何を。
I'm Kuranari Takeshi. What's with you all of a sudden?
だって、俺たち、ちゃんと自己紹介ってしてなかっただろ
No, this is what you say. I mean, I didn't introduce myself with, Hodachi-chan. I didn't introduce myself to Tatsuya. What's the messed up thing? Should be Mina, right? I can't figure it out. Anyway, it's to you, didn't I?
そういやそうだったっけ。
Come to think of it. Oh, yeah, is that so?
私は田中ゆうでいいわ。ゆうって呼んでね。
I am Tanaka. You can call me you. Call me you. She doesn't say her full name.
ここ
right?
レミューのレスキュースタッフっていうかただのバイトだけどしているわ。
I am Lemu's rescue staff, or rather, it's just a part-time job. But I'm doing it. I'm working here.
じゃあ次はマヨね。
And next is Mayo.
私は松永沙羅。高校2年生と忍者をやってます。ニンニン。
I'm Matsunaga Sara. I'm a second-year high school student and a ninja.
忍忍って、忍者ってなんじゃ
What do you mean by nin nin?
彼女の趣味というか口癖みたいなものね。救命官の2年生の学校行事の特殊貢献奉仕派遣ってやつでここに来たの。
To get the computer stuff out of the way. It's more like a catchphrase and a hobby of hers. I came here to She came here to attend a second-year school event at Kumikun as part of a volunteer service program.
拙者松永沙羅。特使の任務にてシュシュッと参上つかまつりました。
Oh, super inflected voice acting. I am Matsunaga Sara, and I'm here on a mission from Tokushi, which would have been the school, I guess. And then, if this is goes like the original, she doesn't say anything, and then Takeshi, quote unquote, has to jump in and say, she's Tsugumi. The girl I've been watching Sara warily until now turned away.
それであっちの彼女は。
So the girl over there is...
で、なんていう名前なの、倉成。
What's her name, Kuranari? Why would you think I would know?
えなんで俺に聞くんだよ
Why are you asking me?
あなたの連れじゃないの？
Isn't she with you?
いや違うぞ
No, that's not it.
なんだよ そのふーんってのは。
What's with that thing?
それで名前は？
So, what is your name? You called out to the girl who was sitting, like, detached.
つぐみよ。
Almost like, you should know it. It's a Gumi!
小町つぐみ。
Kamachi Tsugumi!
どうなることかと様子を見てたけど、もう耐えられないわ。それじゃあ自己紹介もしたし、私はこれで。
Interestingly, she didn't, like, try to bother to codename herself. Which you would think she might do, but she doesn't do that. I guess it's just for plot reasons. I would just make everything way too complicated. I was watching to see what would happen. But I can't take it anymore. Well then, I've introduced myself. So I'll be going now. Which is me the exact same thing she did in the Takeshi slide, but like, the motivation is said slightly differently. Leaving those words behind, Sugumi rose from her seat. Sugumi must have taken me by surprise because no one said anything for a while, or taking us by surprise.
そうだ、空も自己紹介しようぜ。
Oh no, now this part. Oh, that's right, Sora. Let's you introduce yourself.
私がですか？
Me?
よろしいのでしょうか？
Said very quickly. Am I slow? Oh, is that okay?
いいも悪いも、俺たちはもう仲間じゃないか。少なくとも、俺は仲間だと思っているぞ。
For better or for worse, we're already comrades. At least I think you're one of us. Or
それで
whatever.
は、私は茜ヶ崎空と申します。設定年齢は24歳となっています。
Well then, my name is Akane Gasaki Sora. And then she says I'm 24 years old. Unlike the Takeshi side where she says my set age is 24 years old. Unless the translator didn't catch it. Let's try Google Translate. No, it is. She does say it. It's just the offline translator couldn't handle it. My set age is 24 years old.
人と機械とのインターフェースです。皆さん、よろしくお願いします。
It's an interface between... I am interface between people and machine. Please, and it's kind of like, please take care of me, right? Or pleased to meet you. Interesting. An interface. I wonder what that is.
さて、最後は少年だな。
And lastly is the boy.
そういえば、お前の名前って聞いてなかったよな。
Come to think of it, I didn't hear your name, did I? I...
抜け人なんだよ。
He's a ninja.
抜け人？
Ninja?
それで追っ手を忍法を使ってバッタバッタと倒していくのよ。
And then he'll use ninja arts to defeat our pursuers. What? And then can use ninja skills to defeat his pursuers one after the other. I am not a ninja. I don't use shiho or whatever.
だから真に受けない。
Don't take it seriously.
それじゃあ何者なんだ？
And who are you?
少年はね、早い話が記憶喪失なのよ。
To put it simply, the boy has amnesia.
事故の時頭を打ったとか？
Did he hit his head during the accident?
多分事故の影響か、事故前に何かショックなことがあったんじゃないかしら。
Maybe it's because of the accident. Maybe something shocking happened before the accident.
事故の前？救護室に来る前？
Before the accident? Before he came to the infirmary?
多分ヒステリー症状の帰り方だと思うんだけど。
You mean when I kicked him? I think it's probably a hysterical dissociative type. A dissociative type of hysteria.
それってドロップキックを受けるとなるんですか？
Does that mean he could have got it from a drop kick?
そんなわけないでしょ。
Of course not.
外傷より精神的なものよ。
It's more psychological than trauma.
側頭葉と扁桃体を行き交う情報が限度を超えて処理が追いつかないで脳がオーバーフローしたっぽいのよね。
The information that goes through the temporal lobe and the amygdala goes beyond its limit, and the brain can't process it, so it seems to have an open flow. Whatever.
だから事故のことも脳がオーバーフローした一因になるかもしれないけどね。
I sort of hate science fiction. So the accident might be one of the reasons his brain is being blown away. Brain has been blown away.
ヒステリー症状の帰り方の特徴として意識が朦朧としたり記憶が思い出せなくなったり人格が変わって別人のようになることもあるわ。
Characteristics of hysteria symptoms, such as a dissociative type, are that your consciousness is hazy, you can't remember your memories, and sometimes your personality changes and you become like a different person.
ちなみに転換型ってのもあるけどこっちは声が出なくなったり手や足を動かせなくなったりするわ。
By the way, there's the transformation part where you can't speak anymore and you can't move your hands or feet anymore. What? By the way, there's also something called the conversion type, but this is when you lose your voice and you can't move your arms or legs.
それで記憶って戻るのか？
So, will his memories come back?
今すぐってわけにはいかないけど多分そのうち思い出すんじゃないかな。
They can't come back right away, but he'll probably remember eventually. Probably. Even though they were talking about me, I felt like they were talking about someone else.
さてと、これで全員の自己紹介も済んだことだし、約1名戻ってないし。
Now that everyone has been introduced, one of us hasn't returned.
何より遅い時間だしな。コスミッシャーバルに行けるのは明日だし、今日はゆっくり休むとするか。
Besides, it's getting late. We'll be able to go to the Cosmere Val tomorrow, so why don't we get some rest today?
だけど、休むにしても、この部屋で雑魚寝しかないか？
But even if I want to rest, I guess I'll have to sleep in this room as a small fry. What? I'll have to sleep in this room.
それなら救護室の医療用加減圧室がいいと思います。
In that case, I think it would be best to go to the medical the medical's room's decompression chamber in the medical decompression chamber in the or compression chamber in the infirmary.
あそこなら急な減圧や酸素不足にも耐えられる構造です。それに救護室、過減圧室の下には緊急用の非常通路もありますから。
It's built to withstand sudden pressure and oxygen deprivation. There's also an emergency corridor under the infirmary and the decompression chamber.
そうね。この区画内ではあそこが一番マシかな。ちゃんと布団もあるしね。
Yeah, that's the best place on this block, right? There are futons too.
だけど、休む前にシャワーくらい浴びたいかな。
But I think I'd like at least to take a shower. I presume it's before resting. I know both translators say while you're resting, while resting.
ここにはトイレやランドリー、簡易シャワーもあるから、寝る前に済ますことは済ましておきましょうか。
Okay, I have to pause.